I asked Levi if he might, like I called him last night, and I tried to teach him all my stuff, and so I wanted him to kind of try, he can come on anytime, Levi. I was going to get him to try and do one of my songs or experience firsthand some of my stuff, so that, and so in order for him to really sell it, he should at least experience one thing on the stage with me and really absorb it. So how you doing, Bob?
Pretty good, Bob.
All right. So I was going to tell a little story before I play this next song, because I often tell little stories when I play my songs, as you know. So many years ago in the late 80s, I played, as some of you know, in Blue Rodeo, and we were recording a record at that time, the record that later Diamond Mine became
my big keyboard solo band.
Yeah, we built all that. And we decided to make that record with a guy named Malcolm Burr,
who many of you may know, who's around the music scene with Danny. We would later go on to work with Daniel Lanois
because he went out with his sister.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, he's working with Danny Lanois in New Orleans. Anyways, Blue Rodeo wisely asked Malcolm to produce their record, because who's going to be able to get Danny Lanois at that point in 1989? He'd already done, the Joshua Tree 2 years before, and Peter Gabriel, and all this other stuff. So it was a very clever thing to ask Malcolm to produce us, because it was a way of getting to the Lanois technique cheaply, and maybe, anyway, that aside, once we started working with Malcolm, we soon learned, because we talked to him a lot about different gossip and stuff, and we found out that after the Blue Rodeo record was finished,
Daniel Lanois was going to be making an album with Bob Dylan. And
wow.
Oh Mercy.
Yeah, it was the album later called Oh Mercy. But the bigger deal was that first we recorded a couple songs with Malcolm. The song Diamond Mine, as I said a moment ago, that I had a long solo in, and another song. And then we took a break, and Malcolm went back to New Orleans for Christmas. And when he came back, the day he came back, he took me aside, and he said, Dan is going to be producing Bob's next record.
Yeah, and it's great because he's talking like Dan and Bob. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And Dan doesn't know what Bob wants to do, so he thought he'd put a band together for Bob in advance.
And so I can kind of see where this is going, and
I'm hearing it in slow motion,
sort of freezing up. And so he said to me, would you be interested in playing keyboards on the album?
On Dylan's record. And I know lots about Dylan. I love Dylan. Like, do I want to be a keyboard player on his record?
And so I said to him, well, how much
is he going to
pay me for doing this?
And Malcolm looks back at me and says, oh, don't worry. They'll pay you something good.
I said, I'm just kidding. Of course I'm going to do it. I would pay them to be on Dylan's album.
But as it turns out, he didn't want a band. So, and then I wrote this song about the extinction of albums.